I never felt better than anyone. Just I wanted to be a part of of that culture, um, especially in graffiti. Because when I was younger, from fifth to like sixth grade, um, I didn't really know nothing about graffiti. But my elementary school, which is Royal Palm Elementary in Westchester, my school was completely covered in graffiti coming back going sixth grade one summer, right? So I saw all these tags. When I say tags, it's kind of like handwriting style. And I see all these tags and I see SDF, which standard, I didn't know at the time what it standard for, but it standard for so damn fresh. Also DEED, DEED, DW, which standard for devoted writers, writers meaning in graffiti, not like literature. And I wanted to do graffiti as well. So like my school was kind of vandalized a little bit. It never had been, but it was just after that summer. And so I go home on the weekend. I start practicing. On the weekend, I used to go to my grandparents' house in Hialeah for for the weekend. And in Hialeah, I started doodling on a piece of paper and stuff like that. And I remember that one of the writers that was up in the school was his name was Deed. So I go by Jel, but my real name is Joe. So I always liked the letter J. So I come back to school. I mean, I go on the weekend to my grandparents' house, and I start doodling, and I start doing some letters that says Jeed, Jeed. I like the J. It came out really nice. By the way, I still have that sketch from the very first piece I ever did. So I go back to school the next day. My other friends are into it as well. So my friend Lennon, he becomes Lead, Leed. My other friend Danny, he was Seed, Seed. We put our names all over the school. Come back the next day, we see our names crossed out, right? So we're like, oh my God, what's going on? These guys are after us. So when um when we go back, we were all crossed out by Deed. So it happens to be that Lennon lived real close to Deed, and Deed knew kind of who he was and where he lived. So Deed went over, saw Lennon, and was like, listen, tell those guys that their name is too close to mine, and they can't be writing that, you know. So Lennon kind of knew him from the neighborhood. He wasn't friends with him, but he knew him. So he was like, oh, so then what can I write then? And he was like, so my friend details him, you should write Dell, Del. So Lennon comes back the next day and he's like, no, look, I'm gonna write Del. He told me to write Del. So I go, all right, so then I'll be Gel. And then my other friend Danny, he was like, I'll be Cell. So it was Gel, Del, Cell. This is in elementary. So we started going around school, tagging it up. And to this day, if you go to the elementary school, there's still some little tags like on the electrical boxes and stuff that are seeping through from so many years. And this is in 1989, 1990, 89, and that was that. And then later throughout the years, I um I started getting more into graffiti. I started taking tags, doing throw-ups. Throw-ups are like the big bubble letters that you see, kind of to get up really fast, your name up really fast. And there's sometimes they're either just an outline of bubble letters, or it could be the outline with the filling, but the filling won't be completely covered up. It'll be like a zigzag from back side to side. That's how they do a throw up, to a two-color throw up. So I started practicing my throw ups and my writing. We started going to Concord Concord Plaza or Concord Center, and in Westchester, which is off of Bird Road and 112th Avenue. And we go up on the rooftop, and when we go on the rooftop, we see many pieces, like full-blown, colorful murals up there all over the place. So there had been many writers going up to that rooftop, and to me at this point was like it was like I was in another world, you know. So we're up there, and we took some spray paint, we started taking tags, and doing some little throw ups and stuff. And then I'm amazed by all these murals, and also on the drive from Westchester to Hialeah and back with my grandfather, I would see a lot of murals, but very intricate murals by many different writers that we'll get into it and, later on, right? So then my my grandfather my grandfather buys me a camera, and my grandfather used to smoke a lot of cigarettes, right? So around this time, I'm like maybe 12, 13 years old, and at the time he had a Capri Classic, right, four door, and he would sit, driving, and he would just crack his window about that much while he's smoking the cigarettes, and he would take me to all the spots that I used to see where and he would park the car. I would get off and take pictures of the graffiti pieces. And then we would go to like Ecker Drugs or like Publix to to develop the film. And I started to build, you know, an album of all these pictures I was taking.